For water.
For life.
For life.
We run.
For all people.
For all nations.
We run.
For our brothers.
And our sisters.
We run.
For water.
For life.
We run. We run. We run.
What do you do when your land's under attack?
Stand up, fight back.
What do you do when your water's under attack?
Stand up, fight back.
What do you do when your people are under attack?
Stand up, fight back.
What do you do when your country's under attack?
Stand up, fight back.
What do you do when your children are under attack?
Stand up, fight back.
Niniwi Challenge!
Water is life.
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 We stand!
We stand
For our brothers!
for our brothers
And our sisters!
and our sisters.
We stand!
We stand
For water!
for water.
For life!
For life.
We stand!
We stand
For one nation!
for one nation.
For all people!
For all people.
We stand!
We stand
For our brothers!
for our brothers
And our sisters!
and our sisters.
We stand!
We stand.
For water!
For water.
For life!
For life.
We stand!
We stand.
We stand!
We stand.
We stand!
We stand.
We are here today in solidarity with our relatives fighting against the Dakota Access Pipeline. Chase Bank funds Sunoco and Energy Transfer Partners, which is heavily invested in Dakota Access and many other pipeline projects. We stand here in solidarity and prayer and peace for our relatives that are still on the front lines today. We are here for the water. We are fighting for the next 7 generations that are coming for their water, for the clean water of them. We are fighting for our people, for our ancestors, for our kids that are yet to come. You want to say something?
My brothers and sisters, we're standing out here to save our water for the future generations, for the generations not born yet. All our lives are at risk. Our water intake is at risk on the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation. Please stand with us in solidarity. This is going to affect the mid-central United States. 18 million people drink out of the Missouri River. Please come stand in solidarity with us. This is all of our water. Pay attention to the snow. It's Minnie Wachoni. She's showing us right now. She gives us this life. Water is life. We'd like to thank the Sundance Film Festival for being a part of this work that is here.
Aloha, what's up? How's it? I am at Sundance right now in Utah, and it's incredibly snowy. And the reason why I am here, I don't take photos, sorry. Unless you want to stand in front of the sign, and then we can do it. I'm here because I was invited to come speak with Chairman Dave Archambault from Standing Rock Reservation. As many of you know, I'm sure, from watching these videos, because it's kind of all I post about, the Dakota Access Pipeline last year, at the end of last year, the Army Corps of Engineers decided to deny the easement, which was a huge success and a major triumph. But it doesn't stop there. The environmental impact statement was released, but as we have President Trump now in office and as we are not sure about his next steps, we, the people, must ensure that we're going to stand up against corruption and that we're going to stand up in the face of adversity, despite how strong they think they may be, despite how much money they may have. They only have money if we allow our investments and if we allow our personal pockets to be invested in these corrupt manifestations of greed and the fossil fuel industry. So anyways, I was invited to the Sundance Film Festival to speak with the chairman, and as I got here and connected with some of these water protectors who have been on the front line since the beginning of the Dakota Access Pipeline, we soon realized that Chase Bank is one of the largest sponsors of Sundance Film Festival. Chase Bank is also heavily invested in the Dakota Access Pipeline and would make a lot of money when this pipeline, which it's not going to, because we ain't gonna let it, pipeline we're able to, it's so snowy, to get built. So we're here to invite Sundance Film Festival, to invite everyone involved in this film festival, every person who's here as a supporter, every person who's here as a sponsor, and every person who's here, I'm an icicle snowman right now, putting this event together, to look at how they support Indigenous communities, how they talk about Indigenous communities, and how there is such a large presence of Indigenous culture and community involved in the Sundance Film Festival, and yet one of their largest sponsors is is a bank that has invested not only in the Dakota Access Pipeline, but in many different business ventures involving the fossil fuel industry that unfortunately is destructive to not only Indigenous people, but to all people, to future generations. So these amazing water protectors came out here to invite people to look at that, because there is a certain hypocrisy in talking about Indigenous cultures, but not actually doing anything as an ally, as a non-Native ally, to stand with them and to bring attention to subjects that highly need it. So if you are at Sundance, please come join us. We are at the Chase Sapphire on Main Lounge, or the Chase Sapphire Lounge on Main. It's super snowy and beautiful out here, and we're doing it. So
Water is life.
come join us. And clearly, as we can see, Mama Water is with us. All right, I'm gonna stop talking and let you hear these amazing wise speakers.
Many of us came to Sundance directly from Stony Rock, where we've been maced on the front lines. We've been sprayed with water cannons in 30-degree weather, and we've been attacked with dogs, all because we're standing in prayer for the water. We're standing here today to ask you all to divest your money from Chase Bank. Invest your money into banks that support community, into banks that support us, into banks that support green energy, and to support our just transition from the fossil fuel industry into green energy. We stand here in solidarity again for our heritage in Stony Rock.
We stand for our water, for our brothers, for our brothers, and our sisters.
We stand!
We stand
For water!
for water,
For life!
for life.
We stand!
We stand
For all people!
for all people,
For all nations!
for all
We
nations.
stand!
We stand
For our children!
for our children,
For all people!
for all people.
We stand!
We stand
For life!
for life,
For water!
for water.
We stand!
We stand.
We stand!
We stand. We stand.
We need each other!
Water is life.
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 Maybe in a bit. I'll let them speak first.
We want to remind everyone that these actions across Indian country have been always led peacefully because this is a non-violent direct action. We are here in prayer and in peace, and we are locked down, and we are not going to let go. And it's symbolic of the same way that we are feeling as Indigenous people. We are holding on to our earth, and we are holding on to each other, and we refuse to let go. So I'd like to invite my brothers and sisters. Does anyone want to sing? Okay, I'll sing a song, and let's just start singing, because this is the way that we've always come together in prayer. And our voices and our prayers are stronger than any weapon that we could use. Team Gwitch. Miigwech nege meshosak, miigwech nege no kamesak, miigwech nege winwe nak nak, hey ah hey ah hey ah ho, oh hey ah hey ah hey ah ho, oh hey ah hey ah hey ah ho, oh hey ah ho, oh hey ah ho, oh hey ah hey ah hey ah ho. Miigwech nege meshosak, miigwech nege no kamesak, miigwech nege winwe nak nak, oh hey ah hey kumisak, miigwech nege, no kumisak, miigwech nege, and way knock knock, oh hey, ah hey, ah hey, ah ho, oh hey, ah hey, ah hey, ah ho, oh hey, ah hey, ah hey, ah ho, oh hey, ah hey, oh hey, ah ho, oh hey, ah hey, ah hey, ah ho. Chini get some no kana. We stand!
We stand!
For our brothers!
For our brothers!
And our sisters!
And our sisters!
We stand!
We stand!
For water!
For water!
For life!
For life!
We stand!
We stand!
For all
For
people!
all people!
For
For one nation!
We stand!
We stand!
For our children!
For our children!
For our elders!
For our elders!
We stand!
We stand!
We stand!
We stand!
We stand!
We stand!
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Kelly Tilson. I'm a water protector from Porcupine, South Dakota. I've been out at Standing Rock in August, from August to December. Right now, what we're looking at is this Trump presidency has dedicated themselves formally to authorizing both the KXL pipeline and the Dakota Access Pipeline. We are in a hard, determined fight now. We have no place less to retreat to. That pipeline looks like it's about to go under the river. And as soon as there's authorization, as soon as the Trump presidency can manipulate the situation so that this EIS is overthrown, we are in the maximum mode of danger of having the Missouri River to be contaminated now because of this pipeline coming under the Missouri River from the Dakota Access Pipeline. Right now, we need people to divest from the banks that are funding this operation. We need people to be willing to show back up in North Dakota to do some nonviolent direct action. We need our local leadership on the ground to support water protectors in doing nonviolent direct action. And this is a hard thing. Our local Standing Rock people are burnt out. They've had their main route to their local town taken over and shut down by Morton County since October 27th. Our friends are tired. Our friends, our relatives are hurting. And right now, even as water protectors, we still need to be ready to mobilize on the land to shut down this Dakota Access Pipeline.
Water is life! Water is life! Water is life!
Snow is life!
My name is Michelle Ladder. I'm Algonquin Métis from the Kitigan-Zibi First Nation in Quebec, Canada. I'm here today to stand with my friends. I spent some time in Standing Rock documenting what is happening there, and I think the greatest misconception is that we feel that this is over. Well, my friends, it is not over. On Friday of last week, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe asked the camps to close. We cannot close these camps. We cannot, our water is not for sale. Our land is not for sale. Is our world for sale to these capitalist corporations that are committing genocide on our people? This is nothing new for us. This is nothing new for Native people. We have had genocide committed on us since the 1800s. This is 2017. They can't continue to do this. We need our allies. We need our black allies, our white allies, our Native allies from all over. For the Achedi Shikon come up, we need our media. This is not over. You think that the veterans came, they made an apology, it's done? It is not done. It is just the first chapter. In Canada alone, the federal government has just pushed through 3 new pipeline projects. What you see in Standing Rock is just going to be a continuation of what you're going to see across the Americas. Now I ask you, and all of you, if you can't come to Standing Rock to be there to stand with us, divest your money, take it out of the banks, and when you do that, tell them why you're taking it out. Thank you.
We stand!
We stand!
For our brothers!
For our brothers!
And our sisters!
And our sisters!
We stand!
We stand!
For water!
For water!
For life!
For life!
We stand!
We stand!
For our children!
For our children!
For our elders!
For our elders!
We stand!
We stand!
For all people!
For
Again, we are here today in solidarity with our relatives fighting against the Dakota Access Pipeline. We ask that you divest your dollars from Chase Bank, from Wells Fargo, from US Bank, and other banks invested in the Dakota Access Pipeline. Support community banks, support banks that are focused on moving towards a just transition from the fossil fuel industry into green energy. We've been fighting the same oppressors since 1492. We survived Columbus and we survived Trump as well.
All right, so we're gonna talk to an amazing, female warrior hero, Shailene Fox. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Bonjour, Anin, everyone. My name is Shailene Fox. I'm an Anishinaabe Ojibwe from Batchewana First Nation in Canada, and I'm at Sundance to support my brothers and sisters from Standing Rock and from frontline communities all over the world. And who's this?
What's up, y'all? Taboo Black Eyed Peas, but most of all, Shoshone Native, representing, doing my part, standing in solidarity with my people at Standing Rock. Shailene, Serene, all the people out there doing their part. Let's do more.
Yeah.
We're here.
Absolutely. So we want to just remind people that we are not targeting Sundance. We're so proud of all of the work that happens here. And as artists in the media who have an available platform, we believe in this platform, and we're asking Sundance to acknowledge that and to consider divesting from Chase. And we believe in their power as a film festival and their influence in community. So we're here at the Chase Sapphire Lounge, and we're encouraging Sundance to consider this relationship that they have with Chase Bank and to consider all relationships that threaten Indigenous communities. If Sundance supports Indigenous programming, then they inherently support Indigenous lives. That means they cannot support corporate interests that are literally threatening the lives and the future generations of our people.
Could not be better said. Do you want to tell them about Rise?
Yeah, so I'm here at Sundance because we have an 8-part documentary series that's coming out on Viceland, and it premiered on Saturday night. It's got a two 1-hour specials on Standing Rock, so we were able to have that work here, and we're able to have the protectors be able to see all of the work that they've done over this past year. So we're really proud of that work, and you're going to be able to watch that and to see all the water protectors and the beautiful work that they've done in 7 countries around the world on January 27th, so it'll be on Viceland.
And then how can people keep up with you and find out what you're doing? And because I find you super inspirational with the work that you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shailene. It's mutual. They can follow me. Obviously, social networks have been really important for this fight. I always say that cell phones and social media are our new weapons. So you can follow me. I'm at Shailene Fox. It's S-A Rain and then Fox. Also follow the work of Rise and Vice. And yeah, I really appreciate all your guys' support, and I really, really encourage you to think about where you invest your money and just also about who you are and how you as a person want to stand with other people, not just Indigenous people, but choose a fight. Don't stand for nothing. There's no point in wasting this beautiful vessel that you have. Every single morning you have the opportunity to stand up and make a choice to do something. And I encourage you to find out what inspires you and to put all your energy into a fight. And I encourage you to fight for Indigenous people, but that's me.
Me too.
I'm biased. But yeah, so we're really, really happy to be here and for everyone's support. So thank you so much for everyone's support and prayers. And please keep praying for all of our protectors who are still on the front lines at Standing Rock. We can't forget that they're still there. It kind of seems like there's been a resolution. There hasn't. There are still brothers and sisters who are on the front line. So please continue to pray for them and to continue to talk about Standing Rock, to talk about frontline communities. Don't let this die out. We got to keep it in the media. We got to keep talking about it. We got to keep saving the world.
Okay, so one more thing.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people who have the misconception that we're done now that the Army Corps denied the easement and that Obama, put out the environmental impact statement. So why do we have to pay attention to Standing Rock still? Like, what is the importance of paying attention to the Dakota Access Pipeline?
Yeah. So basically, every single win that we've had, Dakota Access has come back and said that they will continue to move forward. So basically, the way that it is it's just like a little kid. As soon as you turn your back, if you tell them not to do something, they're still going to do it behind your back. So what we have to do is we have to hold Dakota Access Pipeline accountable for what is going on in energy transfers. We have to hold Morton County accountable for what's going on. And with the new administration coming in, it's really going to depend on our eyes. Nobody else is going to watch for these things. We have to continue to watch. And we also have to prepare for the fact that Trump could do many things to just allow this to happen. And so we have to continue to rally. There is no safety for Standing Rock. And do not listen to anybody who tells you there is until every single pipe is removed from the ground and they are no longer there pointing their weaponry and their lights and guarding us, then we should still be afraid. So as far as I'm concerned, they're still there on the ground, so we're still there on the ground.
And we need you from home to be on the ground with us, whether it's actually in North Dakota or from the comfort of your home by divesting from these big banks. So.
Yeah, the front line can be in your hometown too. You can literally rally. If you come from a town of 35 people, then get every single person out and march through your streets. There's nothing that you can do that's too small, and just believe in yourself and believe in any action that you can think of. Yeah.
Serene Fox, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, I'm going back to lockdown.
Me too. Let's go. Sorry.
This credit union thing is like, all right, cool.
Here's my girl Malia, one of the first people to get arrested out in North Dakota in September.
Divest! 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 Divest!
Divest! Divest! Divest! Divest! Divest! Divest! Divest! Divest! Divest! Divest! Divest! Divest!
Divest! Divest! Divest!
Minnie-Wee-Chowdy!
Water is life!
Minnie-Wee-Chowdy!
Water is life!
Minnie-Wee-Chowdy!
Water is life!
Minnie-Wee-Chowdy!
Water is life! What I find to be so magical and so inspirational is that we are at a film festival right now. There are so many creatives here, so many people with so much power to use media as an influencer, and to influence so many people, not only in America but around the world, to open our eyes to indigenous cultures and indigenous communities. And like Serene Fox said a minute ago, you know, if this isn't your fight, find your fight. There's so many things out there to be involved in and to be aware of, and once you know, you can't unknow. There's no more time for ignorance, and there's no more time to be followers. We all have to be leaders now, and it's really exciting. It's a beautiful opportunity for all I can't even talk, there's so much snow. For all of us to so sorry. To be involved in something. So I just look here, you know, like across the street is IMDb, the IMDb Studio Lodge, which is the International Movie Database. And all of the people in there have power, these directors and producers and creatives and writers and actors and artists, just artists, so many of us. You know, I think one of the beautiful things about when shit kind of does hit the fan, or when we have a global situation that's so dire, or where there's so many people that are hurting, there's a beautiful opportunity for art to be used as a rescue buoy, you know, to kind of like throw out into the giant waves for us to grab onto and believe in and be inspired by and be moved by, and to also recognize that we're not alone in any of these movements. So wherever you are in your hometown, create local art installations, create, whether it's movies or whether it's hey, sorry, or whatever, create art, and make art with an impact, make art with a statement, because that's how we're going to change this world. So I don't know if you guys have been following, I'm sure you all have, all the radical art that's already come out of all of these marches that have happened the past few days, but we have to continue that momentum, and Standing Rock is a huge part of that momentum, because Standing Rock is calling for direct action. It's encouraging all of us to recognize that the power does lie in our hands by divesting. You know, the pipeline cannot be built if there's no money invested in it in the first place. Doesn't matter what Trump wants. Doesn't matter what Trump wants. It doesn't matter what his administration chooses to do if there's no money invested because of people like you and me and all of us at Sundance and the people, the sponsors behind Sundance and the creatives behind Sundance, to understand that the people that they are allowing to be their corporate sponsors are actually the same people who are threatening the lives of so many and continuing the slow genocide amongst indigenous cultures. And that's a big, heavy word to use, but that is the correct word to use. And I think it's important for us to recognize that. I'm going to shut up now. Okay. Hi!
It's crazy. I'm still live?
I'm still live, yeah. You don't say anything? Okay. So this is my dear homie Josue Rivas, who has been on the ground at Standing Rock the whole time. Most of the footage that you saw online is footage that this incredible human being captured, this incredible artist captured, brave warrior, and so I'd like to invite him to share.
Yeah, thanks. So I think what's really important to understand about this whole, especially this action at Sundance, is that, as an indigenous filmmaker and as someone that, really cares about how we fund and how we really, go about money when it comes to indigenous issues, indigenous films. I feel that Chase being a major sponsor for this for this festival, it's kind of contradicting in a way, and I don't think we're here out to shame anyone and to put a blame on anyone, but I think that it's really important that we look into who's funding what, and we do know that Chase is a big part of funding Energy Transfer Partners, which is the father or mother company for the Code Access Pipeline. So we can't have a world where we are just taking the money from the people that are oppressing us or the people that are funding that oppression. And from someone that was on the ground and really witnessed some traumatic stuff, as Standing Rock, I can tell you for a fact that that money that Chase invests in this company comes down to people getting hurt and people getting hurt on the ground. So as a filmmaker and as a human being, most importantly, it's really important for us to speak up about those things and really bring awareness to it and call people out, get people in check and say hey, Sundance, we love you, we care about you a lot because of all that you do, but we're also concerned that your sponsor is funding a company that might be hurting indigenous people, and they are hurting them. So that's what I have to say.
One thing, Sundance, that word has a lot of meaning.
Sundance is like a ceremony for the Lakota and Nakota people. So
yeah,
it's the craziest shit. Yeah.
Do you want to just talk on that a little bit more? Sundance in itself, that word has significant meaning to so many, and yet so many of us only know that word associated to this film festival. So when it comes to marrying Sundance, the film festival, with Sundance, the significant indigenous, ceremony. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Exactly. Yeah, and that you touched on that very, very, very importantly, because it is a ceremony. For Lakota, Nakota, Dakota people and all the other people that practice Sundance.
Lakota people, for people who don't know, are Standing Rock Sioux Reservation are Lakota, Nakota, Dakota people.
Yeah. So the folks that practice this ceremony. It's one of the most important ceremonies for the whole year, really. So, and for me, I'm trying to digest all this because I'm a new filmmaker. I'm learning this whole circle of, Hollywood shit, and I'm just learning. Okay, so this is what it is, and I think this is also a ceremony if you think about it, because, there's a gathering here of people that are actually. I feel that have a certain energy, which is the energy of creating films and creating art. So that in itself is a gathering, and I think that for most folks that don't understand it, it's it's what you bring into the ceremony. Who really holds the ceremony for you? That ground in that space. And I think that right now especially with this whole thing with Chase, we're realizing that who's holding that space for us is a company and a bank and a corporation that is investing in a company that is hurting indigenous people. So yeah, it is a lot about, it is about ceremony, really. And how do we show up to that ceremony, And how do we show up to spaces like this and not be ungrateful? I'm not ungrateful whatsoever about Sundance. I just know that there's so much work to be done, and it's okay to call people out. that's it.
Yeah, there's room for change, and,
Yeah.
and there's room to be uncomfortable in order to welcome in the new,
So
to create
you
dynamic
say
impact.
uncomfortable. I think about the Nako video that we just made.
Yeah.
The-
Oh, have you guys
yeah,
seen that?
You gotta watch
You got
that
it.
shit.
Oh my God, fucking made me cry so many
Yeah.
times. So Nako Bear of Medicine for the People just released a beautiful song called Love Letters to God. He's a dear friend of both of ours. And Josue, the footage from his music video is, did you edit it too? Did you put it
I
together?
edited it. So what it was, and this is really important to acknowledge too, that the media and people that were on the ground, like most people left, but there was a group of people, core people that actually stood there and like held the ground and like consistently like documented. So
Like this one.
Well, like me and like Unicorn Riot, like a lot of the footage that is like really crazy footage came from Unicorn Riot, which is a collective of like filmmakers and like just photographers and videographers, and they were like, they got hurt, they got arrested, regardless of the fact, you know. Okay, let's go back to this thing. You wanna go?
And our sisters, but this is important to talk about.
For water, for life, we stand. For our children, for others,
Yeah.
we stand. For our sisters, for all people.
Can someone hold this maybe? We can, because it's live right now.
Keep it live?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Or somebody else maybe can? Here, what? It's this way. I'll just do this. How about that? Here, I'll hold it. It might be easier. Okay. Hi. Okay.
Shailene, this is Democracy Now! And you know it's radio and television, so could you please begin by introducing yourself?
Hi, my name is Shailene Woodley. I am an actor and also just a human being who cares deeply about not only this generation, but all generations to come.
There's many actors here at the Sundance Film Festival, but I don't see many of them out here. Can you talk about what the significance is of this action here at Sundance?
This is an incredibly significant action. There are a lot of actors here. I'm not sure that all of them know that this is happening. I think we would actually have more support from more people if they knew about this event, and hopefully they're checking social media so they know what's going on right now. But the importance of this event is, I've been coming to Sundance for so many years. Sundance in itself, right, the name Sundance represents a ceremony, a very significant ceremony to the indigenous people, the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota people in America. And Sundance has, for a very long time, been a supporter of indigenous communities, has supported their filmmaking, has supported their culture, has talked about their support of indigenous communities, and yet, here we are at Sundance in 2017, and one of their main sponsors is Chase Bank. You know, this is not to, we're not standing out here to call out Sundance in a negative way or to say that this is wrong or you're a hypocrite. We're here to invite Sundance, to invite its sponsors, and to invite every single person who not only attends this film festival, but who also puts together this film festival to recognize that it's one thing to say something and it's another thing to participate in actual democracy. It's one thing to participate in actual change. And by having a supporter, by having a sponsor like Chase Bank, you're completely contradicting all of the vocal support that you do have with indigenous communities, because Chase Bank is one of the largest sponsors of the Dakota Access Pipeline and profits off of the Dakota Access Pipeline, as well as Wells Fargo and Bank of America and all of these other larger banks. So we're here to bring attention to and make people aware of the bigger picture, because it's really easy